We the people, by the mercy and grace of God, ordained with the certain unalienable rights. Among them are the right to form and exercise this 25 people grand jury. Now the number 25 equals 7. So what they have done is made number 7 Lucifer, and Lucifer has been the grand jury around all of our towns. The original United States of America was never removed. It was lain dormant since 1871. Here it says the government de jure is the government of right, a true and lawful government, a government established according to the constitution of the nation or state and lawfully entitled to recognition and administration of the nation, although actually cut off from power or control. Although actually cut off from power or control, a government deemed lawful, rightful, and just, which has been nevertheless supplemented or displaced, which receives not habitual or obediences from the bulk of the community. The de jure, a condition in which there has been total compliance with all requirements of law, of right, legitimate, lawful, by right and just title. In this sense, it is the contrary of de facto government. It may also be contrasted with de gratia, in which case it means as a matter of right. A de gratia means by grace or favor. Again, it may be contrasted with de acquitted. Okay, I always wanted to learn French and Arabic, and goes on to saying the U.S. Secretary of Treasury receives no compensation for representing the United States. Public Law 564, page 8, section HR 13955. Okay, so we have a Treasury, and like if I built AI technology, it's been given to somebody else because there's influencers and there's people that want to take my spot. So they name me bad names so I can't do my own job. And instead I'm over here doing YouTube videos instead. So they get paid for me doing all the work for them. And that's what they call tax-free, living tax-free. These people don't pay their taxes. And the people who do pay their taxes, they're living off me also. So it's a lose-lose. Okay? And that's what I wanted to go over with this book. It's called Common Law Handbook for Jurors, Sheriffs, Bailiffs, and Justices. I could help a lot of people if I am compensated. So nonprofit organizations and a lot of these buildings that are already here, I probably own them, and somebody is trying to put me in wards, trying to call me crazy. Okay? So the de facto government has replaced the government de jure. A government deemed unlawful or wrongful and unjust, which nevertheless receives habitual obedience from the bulk of the commune community. This is the de facto government. There are several degrees of what is called de facto government, such as a government in its highest degree assumes a character closely resembling that of a lawful government. This is when the usurping government expels the regularly authorities from their customary seats and functions and establishes itself in their place and becomes the actual government of the country. The characteristic of such a government is that of its adherents who are warring against its government de jure. That's the problem I have is I'm going through this amendment, the name game, people or citizen. People, ever since they made the 14th Amendment up and this name game where they categorized us from Asian to black and whites and Asian and this and that, like, I'm none of the, like, this is they did this to take my agency, my property, and my liberty away from me and give it to a corporation. Now the corporation owns me. Instead of me owning my corporation and my agency, the agency and the corporations, which is a body of people, want to own me. And in this book that says that they made a law together as a body of people that says I, as a secretary of the United States corporation, cannot get compensated. Why did they make that law like that? Because they want me to be a prostitute and prostitute myself out and not have any bodily autonomy. They want to take my body autonomy so Hathor can become me. And I'm ISIS, and she wants to sacrifice me off, kill me in a car accident like Princess Diana, and become me, wear my skin, and start ruling the United States. And nobody knows that she's doing this. And I keep going into wards and all this stuff for this. We don't know who the secretary or the governor is. Then we don't know who the heirs are. We don't know who the empires are. We don't know who's ruling. We don't have a real government. The corporate United States operates under public commercial law rather than private common law. Okay, let's keep going. The original Constitution and Declaration of Independence refer to these United States. The word united is the adjective describing the noun states. Therefore, the lowercase united. And the federal United States was formed in 1871. The adjective united was changed to the noun united because the federal united, capital U, capital S, states is a corporation, which word is not the adjective but the noun. To be maintained under the Constitution with all its restrictions, the other to be maintained by Congress outside and independently of that instrument. And why am I going over this? Because Ishtar, ISIS and Hathor. ISIS and Hathor were two sisters, heirs. And that's where we get the word Ishtar from. And this Constitution and these two United States corporation with the lowercase u and the higher case u is about ISIS and Hathor and fighting over the inheritance over this land or whatever. And ISIS doesn't believe in killing, slaying, and enslavement. Okay? So that's the battle that, this is how law was written, is for ISIS to get supreme, she's the supreme law maker and, just the natural law. She's the nature, mother nature, ISIS. So, she's one of the, in court, if I was ISIS, they have been putting me away, calling me crazy, and taking over my land one by one, and putting me in ward so I don't fight for my own land, and I just give it up to Hathor. Okay, so that is the story of Ishtar, is a sacrificing. ISIS is that's how we get a holiday where you buy a lot of Easter eggs. Those are the eggs of ISIS, and Hathor is laying those eggs. She becomes the mother that lays all the eggs, and ISIS is sacrificed. ISIS was sacrificed like Jesus, and nobody celebrated her. You guys celebrate her every holiday with she gives you material wealth, and y'all buy things. She brings sentimental value because she's, how do we get Lucifer? Nobody goes over how do we get Lucifer. We get Lucifer from Mary, who has illegitimate children, called against the commandments and against the law. You're not law anymore. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.